down there, are you? Hi. There we go. Much better. Yes. So today we are building an on-air sign for that door right there. Actually, the plan is that from this collection of parts, we are going to, we're going to build a sign. So to get to this point, these bits were designed and printed. This one initially was going to have a switch coming out of it, but we're going with this switch instead at this point. They're to hold it off the door and give us enough clearance for this battery box. Hello, Beer Jesus. That is a cool name. And so with this, it was laser engraved yesterday, varnished, coloured, and holes were cut. So this will not be like the most in-depth thing ever. That's not the goal here. But what it will be is, you know, hopefully something fun. And yeah, let's get on with it. I will try and make sure everything is on camera while I'm building it all, but no promises because it is literally just me. Okay, so I'm going to start with some super glue and these, because if we can get these sticking, that will at least give us a little bit of a head start. I could do this a fancy way, but I don't think there'll be anything wrong with just a bit of super glue and sticking them in the corners. Thank you, Jesus. Shall indeed. So the thing is, I live with a few people here. And so whenever you want to go live and broadcast anything, you tend to have to clear it with everyone and be like, look, I'm going live, so, you know, everything's closed, everything's off. Please be quiet outside the door, all that sort of thing. Please don't just randomly walk in. It's always good to have. Yeah. So I just figured this would be a nice, there you go, all stuck solid already. So I figured this is a nice way to do it. We've got a little LED strip, which is going to fit there. We'll solder it in. And yeah, I don't see why this wouldn't work. Indeed. I don't see why this wouldn't work, but I do have a tendency to make incredibly basic mistakes when it comes to this stuff. I did a stream not too long ago, which I think I've only got on YouTube now. And that was building a head tracker. Thought I'd finished, thought it was going really well, only to find out that I didn't put a power cable between the motion board and the controller board. Like the most basic thing of just a wire so that it has power. And yeah, so that's backed up on YouTube in its entirety. Okay, first test. Does this LED strip actually work? So we're going to have battery and yes. I'm only going to use the red one at the minute, but yeah, exactly. Wires always need power, and circuit boards always need power. And, you know, I just totally forgot to do it. And normally it's fine, but that one was on a stream on the internet, which, you know, is there forever. Right, this LED strip is actually nicked from what was my laser engraver's closed box. And so I've already used the adhesive on it. And this is just some masking tape I added yesterday because the adhesive was still good. And now the adhesive has stuck to the masking tape and it won't come off. So instead we'll neaten it up. And then we'll just use some glue. Because I'm not that fussy. I really hope this strip carries on working and I don't fry it halfway through. Yeah, see, I'm more of a computer guy, but I just enjoy tinkering with pretty much everything. There we go. Like it was made to fit. Yeah, I just sort of enjoy tinkering, so that's why I do things like this. Let me just grab that head track. So, this is the head tracker that we built on another stream. 3D printed box and all the electronics in here. And I just forgot a single wire, but fits on your head, nice and easy, works in games as well, which is bloody brilliant. So yeah, okay, where were we? See, these are all parts from other projects that I had going on, which is why this has got wires connected. This had a lot of wire connected. Right, what I want to do first is connect a wire to these two here. That's going to be the easiest way to start, I think. By the way, a lot of what you'll see isn't the correct way to do things. Nice reference. I have not seen Clockwork Orange in years. Get rid of this because it's annoying me. Okay, so here is where things become difficult to film when it comes to the soldering of small things. My fan is set up in the back corner. And so, just going to tin the end of these. now on this, see if I can get this camera down onto it. There we go. That would have done if it didn't just randomly collapse on us. Okay, I'm going to heat the little copper pad and just put a little bit of the solder on it. And then do the same with the one for the R. Don't know if this is ever going to focus. I think the varnish job's done too good of a job. So instead of it focusing, now it's just sort of reflecting the light. But there you go. 2 blobs ready to go. Switch back to that one. And now we can get these 2 wires. Now red will be our live. So put that on top. Apply a little bit of heat. A little bit of pressure. There we go. It's 1 on. Kind of want to add just a little bit more to that first wire. There we go. And that is on there. So now I've just got to make sure this wire's nice and straight. I'll push it through. There we go. That's actually going to look neater than I thought it was going to look. Ah, cheers, buddy. I will return the favour once I've built this, obviously. Okay, so our battery box. I'm thinking if I can get everything on the front done, then I can turn it all over and we can start on the back, which is where all the wires are going and all that stuff. So this should, if everything was done right, drop in. Perfect. Okay, instead of putting a bead all the way around of super glue, do I want it to open that way? Yeah, of course I do. Instead of that, what I'm going to do is put a dot in each of the screw holes. which should leak out a little bit around each screw hole. By the way, if someone was building this themselves, I would say don't attach anything to the board until you've got it all wired up and working. Because the last thing you want is to do all of this work, get it all attached and all that, and then find out one of the components is dead. That would be really frustrating. Just gonna have to sit here for a while, hold this. Which I am sure is the most riveting content you'll ever see on the internet. There we go. That's pretty solid. Now I'll just drop this through as well. One thing to note with this hole as well, excuse me. One thing to note with this hole as well, and this switch, is that, just like bring in camera 2. If you take a look, you can see this little notch that I've had to make. That's for the keying of the switch. So just there. I need to cut my fingernails. But just there is the key so that it doesn't twist. So when that goes in, it will lock in place and not spin on us. Hopefully. Okay, now's the test. How well did I do with this hole? Come on. Oh, like a glove. I mean, a stiff glove to get in, but there you go. That is actually the finished front. That's what it's going to look like. So that's going to be on the door. And then this strip is going to light up. You can change the battery. We can turn it on and off. Nice and easy. Okay. Just going to... Okay, I'd say all the super glue was dry. Right. So, this is our power. Our power is going to come in on this side. Just got to flatten these down a bit out of the way because they're a little bit too tall. Okay, so this one I can get away with being quite short. Put that to one side because that's actually quite useful. Yeah, so again, anything that... Welcome back, Bear Jesus. Anything that is said, do not take as the correct way to do things. This is just 30 years of messing around with electronics and stuff like that. Like using a Stanley knife to strip wire. Not the recommended way, strangely enough. No, we're not quite at the sudden spark stage yet. That comes when this goes in. Actually, no, that comes just as we've mounted it all to the walls. Bring in our little helping hand thing so I can get these wires tinned. Put a little bit on that one. A little bit on that one. I'd like a little bit more on that. There we go. It's looking good. Looking very good. Okay, this one. Never used to use heat shrink tubing, but it's actually quite useful. Who knew? Okay. That, yep. Right, so I don't want these twisted. It's one of the key things. That's going at the bottom. So red is still on that side. And that's going over the top, that's coming under the bottom. Okay, we're good. I know what I'm doing. I think. It's a nice case of that solder we applied earlier. Melted a little bit. Ow. God bless solder. Little blow to quickly do that. Slide the heat shrink tubing over the top, and we'll just leave that there for now. Okay, so now the red one, which is a live one, yes it is. If you're in customer service and you don't go, I know what I'm doing, then you're doing it wrong, basically. Yeah, so now our live wire is coming out of the battery into the switch, and then down here, where I need to make sure I get this right. 12 volt is the red wire, definitely. Okay, that's fine. So if I cut this, where are my snippers? There they are. If I cut that there, put that to one side. If I get this about, so that meets up nicely there. Add a bit for mistakes. Okay, that bit of wire and that bit of wire are still useful. That bit I can make use of down the line. And we're off. There we go. It does feel like I'm in the middle of speed. Speed 3 on air signs. Just a shame it's not a Keanu Reeves building this. I wonder if he could. I wonder if Keanu Reeves knows how to solder wires. Ah, I could have bypassed this bit of wire. I'm bypassing this bit of wire. Away with you. Go. Right. So I now need that and that to be tinned. And I need there's one. What I tend to do is cut this heat shrink tubing in half. Just because the strips are too long, like, I don't need it that long. Because my solder joint is there by comparison, it's excessive. Okay, we've got one for the black, we've got one for the red. Okay, let's get the red done first. Just trying to make it easy to manage the wires later on. This is going far too smooth and far too quick. I feel like I must have made a mistake somewhere. Okay, black wire tinned. Come on. Okay, I think everything's now soldered together. See, that's exactly where I'm at with my logic with it. Everything's gone smooth, so something must break. Okay, we'll turn that switch off. We'll put our battery in. And yeah. Turn off that light. Hey, it actually works. Look at that. I can turn it off, save the battery. I can take battery out and change it. That is pretty damn cool. Okay. So now I need to get this soldering iron out of the way. Because otherwise, I'm going to end up burning myself on it. I know I am. I'm not going to show you the way I do heat shrink tubing with the soldering iron, which is just a case of rubbing it on it. I will instead use this really annoying heat gun. Just going to mute the mic. There we go. Shouldn't being the key word, need any of that stuff. Again. But now we are on to hot glue. Can actually start tidying up again as well. So the plan is I'm going to put some hot glue over this, which will hold these wires in place and stop that from moving. Come on. Nice. This is what I don't like, waiting for things to heat up so I can use them. I could put super glue all over it. There it is. Scrape that off the desk in a bit. Something to wash it with. Just use my finger. Yes, it makes it look a little bit messier, but it does the job. Just got to make sure it cools down enough before you try and touch it, is the key. Because hot glue does not feel nice. Ah, no. Get off that. See, this is why I don't like hot glue. Things like this. There they are. You just have to weigh it down for a while before it finally sticks. We do that and have like a little... No, we're running out. Okay, that'll do. Mainly because I'm not gonna load this with a new glue stick, just to do one little dollop there. On the plus side, I do believe that we may have actually done it. So in the that for a minute. There it is. We're done. We're actually done. That is the back of it. You can see all my original notes and my test line just there. So we've got everything soldered nicely. Front, all nicely done. And if we pop the cover, pop in the battery, close it, it works. It actually works. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. Let's turn that off. Look at that. So now there is no mistaking when the cameras are on. I did it. And it only took 5 minutes. That's pretty cool. There is a full video coming on the YTs, which has the designing the board, burning it, printing these feet for the back, and why we made this one like that, and all that stuff. All that stuff's going to be in that. Well, yeah. There you have it. A working on-air sign. That just needs to stick into the door. Anyway, yeah. Until next time. Bye.